Hello. Welcome. How are you doing? How's my setup? Okay, things seem to be working. That's nice. Welcome back to my stream. Um, it's I did work on some keychains, which is my Etsy order actually. We did have some challenges with color, so had to undo it, and this is the template, by the way. I make some holes, but not all of them, hence the X. So today we're gonna finish this keychain, and by the way, this is the previous version. Well, not version, it's the first one I made, but it is a red and not fuchsia, right? I think that's the official name of that color. So we are gonna make some fuchsia keychains as a result. Let's try that. Here is the variety of fuchsia colored keychains. My wife. What? Who is this? Who is this person? I don't know them. Do you remember this person? I cannot remember this person. Coco, welcome back. Welcome back. I didn't know you're back to this awesome platform. Welcome. So good to see you. So good to see you. Some weirdo. I mean, we all are. We all are. Look at me trying to pick the best pinkish pink that we can get. And by the way, this camera just doesn't do it justice. I don't know does my camera show the pink? Yeah, this is a little more representative of the color. Yeah, and you can tell this is more of the red. How have you been? Yes, nice. You didn't have to come back to stream. That's okay. But glad you are still around. And how do they saying that in America? Live and kicking. That was more important part. Live and kicking. This is not a given anymore these days. Unfortunately. Anyway, as you can tell, I am streaming. I did not stream as reliably as I wanted to in the past few years, but this year it is my goal to come back to streaming, and the goal is okay. I'm not as consistent as I wanted to, but hey, I'll get anything that life throws at me. So if a little bit of streaming is good, we'll go with it. You can see my face now? Okay, let's use this magical Fibbings balm for this. I hope it doesn't darken it too much. Here's my pink version of the pink side of the thing. Hello, Time Lord. How you doing? Okay, why is this not doing its thing? Oh, yeah. Hands and voice? Yeah, hands and voice. Really, my camera didn't work? That's weird. Anyway, here I am. Or maybe it is some of this multi-stream thing where the camera is actually not doing their thing as efficiently as I wanted to. Okay, this stayed fuchsia-ish. I'm still worried that this color is not sticking around, unfortunately. It's like getting off the thing. I don't know why, but the sealant is not sealing as well. Yeah, you see how there's a little bit of pink on this, and I'm not happy about it, so we might need to do a few layers of this stuff. It is, however, quite pink. Again, sorry for the color thingy. I was having trouble getting the pink I wanted. I solved it by dyeing the part with water-based red and then rising it under hot water until it was the color I wanted to work with. Well, this is like, again, let me show you, by the way, welcome, Daedalus Kazan. This is like a fuchsia kind of pink. It's not just red, it's also this kind of like, I don't know, T-Mobile color? I don't know what to call it. You know, so it's just that this camera is not giving it justice. Although this thing, this color became this when very darkened, especially with acrylic, so it's a little more red. Magenta, that's the word. That's the word I was looking for. Exactly. So let's see if this still leaks the color. Yeah, still does. Okay, let's try now one more layer of this. Again, it will get darker, unfortunately, but we do need to have some finish. And I don't have any finishes that like don't darken. In fact, I was using some of this Peebing's acrylic finisher before, and it darkened it even more. So but it is like sealing it. So there is the finish, sealant, all of that kind of stuff. And this is the, I needed to seal it a little more, and yeah. And my wife will be upset if in the end it's gonna turn red. Okay, it's not leaking as much color, so we can say it's probably okay. Yeah. So, Coco, tell me more. What are you up to? Do you still do any leather work? Folks, if you don't know who Coco is, she is the star of art and leather work from movie scene. So she does a lot of leather. She did, at least, a lot of leather work for movies and like some amazing shit. By the way, she point me towards the hammers that have slanted sides, and thanks to her I got this well, in this case it's a Barry King mallet that weighs like hell but hits flat because of the corner thingies. Both Badmood and Coco are my tool dealers. Will not live stream. It's fine. I mean, like, you know how it is. It's effort. The benefit is, you know, financially is quite questionable and requires quite a lot of physical work. You know, so. But yeah, folks, Coco is one of the teachers who taught me leatherwork here on Twitch. Through her excellence and amazing personality. You did teach me one of those secret stitches, though, that I forgot completely, unfortunately. I remember you were doing some of that um, lining for the bracer, I believe. And I completely forgot how you did that. Obviously, I didn't write it down, and now I'm like telling myself I was wrong. I didn't like having to be on all the time. Yeah, I completely understand. I had one bad day and got ripped apart. Yeah, yeah, the slip stitch. Slip stitch, I think that's the one. That kind of goes one after another and something of that sort. You know? Like you go back or something and then you tighten it or something. And it basically hides the lining, hides the stitch as you attach the lining, I believe, right? Is that slip stitch? Maybe. Now I need to hide the stitching. Nice. Now I will at least send myself a note about the name of it. There we go. Memory, well, maybe not acquired, but at least this time maybe I'll be able to find some references to it. I think you said it was a well-known seamstress stitch, right? Kind of for people who do how it's called, fabric work, regular fabric work, not leather. So using that in a leather project can be pretty cool. By the way, you notice how I first finished the leather and now apply toconol, and that's to avoid this constant toconoling the front, which creates problems. Your signature stitch, nice. So it's not well known. It just only people who know you will know this secret. Nice, nice. I assume it only works on like softer leathers, right? Like where you where it's easy to kind of like tighten it and all of that. Yeah. Couture. Yeah, yeah, that's the one I got it. Oh, okay. Yeah, it was a typo. Got it. Okay. So, how is it looking? Well, still looking good. The edge looks good, or feels good, because I cannot really see it. Easy to chrome tan. Yeah, and suedes. Yeah, yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense. And I remember you were using suede for that specific project, so like, and it was hiding the stitch like hell. Like I couldn't, like you couldn't see where the lining attached to the main body, and that was like nice. Okay, so the next question is, do we need to still finish it a little more or not? Because I hate for the thing that people will keep potentially in the pocket to be, yeah, this is not good. This is not good. I don't know what's up with this specific die. Like, it is the one of those eco somethings. So it's one of these. Indelible leather finishes, made in USA. Yeah, and this is just not sitting. It basically doesn't go deeper into the leather, and instead sits on top, unlike Fibbing's dye, which is much stronger than it. So the question is, should we use this guy or not? I'm a little worried that it will darken it too much. You know what? Let's try using it on this piece that is not as uniform. So maybe it will do better with it. Where's my brush? There it is. Oh. Oh yeah, Coco, I will be showing off stuff. And for those of you who did not come here before, I will be showing off some stuff soon. give me a second. I don't know, Coco, if you did any tooling. I remember you were... I don't remember you tooling a lot, but maybe I am just stupid. I obviously remember Bad Mood was like all over tooling and everything, but I don't remember if you partook in that kind of exercise. Yeah, this one is making the leather much darker, this particular finish, but that's acrylic finish, right? So I'm afraid if we use this, it will go the way that other one went. Yeah, and you see how it comes off the leather, unfortunately. Okay. I mean, it is still magentish, but much darker. And I'm actually not sure if it's done. No, it's actually almost no. It doesn't come off anymore, right? Yeah, you see how, like, this seals it very well, because obviously it's acrylic finisher and wax only like does part of it. So while I'm making those decisions, let me show off my... I got into tooling now. This is project number 3, I believe, or 2, I forgot. So I had like 4 projects so far. I kind of want to do a little bigger tooling pieces, and this is the future wallet. Actually, it's this way, you know. So these are the, how it's called, the oak leaves. So definitely got a few $100 into the tools before. Well, this one actually was before I bought even more tools, but still. I definitely bought the lifter. No, the lifter is old actually, but like I used the lifter on these little eyes. Did I zoom in? I forgot. Nope. There we go. So I like this. This one came out very well. To my level of assessment, I should say. But I did make a few flowery flowers shit, you know, which I don't like as a style as much, but this one I kind of like. And I got myself like a whole set of patterns from Jim Linnell, and I probably will be doing more of these. Pet squirrel, nice. Yes, this is for squirrels for sure. I think my wife was hiding it not recently. Oh, I found a box of, what are they called? Shish. Some nuts. that she was calling the big nuts, you know, like those bigger ones. Jesus. Anyway, I don't know the name of it. It's fine. TMI? What does TMI like? I feel like you might be misinterpreting the word nuts and my wife in combination a little. There's nothing like that. Oh my god. Okay, let me wash this before it becomes a little too pink. Okay, I'm back. And as you can see, I upgraded my studio with a heat blanket to sit on it. Funny enough, it's a little too hot, so let me go down a little bit on the heat level of this. Well, technically my wife upgraded it, and she's like, oh, you will enjoy it because it's freaking cold in the basement all the time. And I'm like, yeah, this is nice. Always had a dirty mind. It's fine, it's fine. It's nothing particularly dirty about it. It's excitement and reality of life. Okay, let's pick some hardware for it. Some hardware. Where's the hardware? These are these guys, and nope, the Z-rings. Where am I? And those were gold gold key rings, which went all over the place. And I found the two guys here. So rescue all the gold rings. Yeah, I think I did. By the way, Coco, I don't know if you've seen my... Well, it's not mine. This one is mine, but like the tooling machines that emerged recently. This guy, a tattoo gun with some special attachments from, well, now Weaver sells them. And it lets you be freehand on the veg stand, basically. And this one is one of the attachments, basically a needle, if you think about it, or whatever. And they have a few others. Oh, come on. Come out. Like 3 needles, like for like dithering and stuff. This is a bigger one. A few, again, I think these are new. These are like flat things and stuff like that. I think my set is like a pre-Weaver. The guy who invented the thing, he was selling them, and I think I got last pre-Weaver deal. Dennis Forrester. So these are pretty cool, kind of different kind of tools. So if you ever want to try it out, maybe it will get your project some kind of special, I don't know, special treatment as a result, a special vibe. Okay, you know what? Let me... So folks, if you've never seen the tool, you might want to check it out. It's from Weaver. Now Weaver Leather sells them. They don't have as many attachments yet, but they have like 6, I believe. And it's an interesting companion like for example, yesterday I used the stamps, like this particular stamp, to make my son's project for my son, right? Like these are like round thingies, like that, right? But I needed a few variations on it, and I just obviously don't have as many stamps in this shape, so I manually did a few of those variations that he designed, because my son is a designer. He doesn't know the limitations of technology. He's like, I want this to look like that. Okay, let's try and seal this bag again. I don't know why I'm trying to fix the plastic bag. For some reason, that seems like a good idea. Ah, come on. And obviously the ring sticks around. Okay. And like that. And hopefully that will stop them from running away. Okie dokie. Back to our business. So I did finish this guy and this one. Actually, it doesn't seem as dark as I thought it would be. So it's kind of close to this. So should I apply acrylic on top? Should I not? Maybe if you put it over wax, that's not going well, right? So let's try. Yeah, still leaking a little bit. Ay, ay, ay. What do I do? Should I apply more, or should I just risk it leaking more? Hey. You know what? Let's apply one more layer of wax. And I'll make 2 of these keychains. And I'll let my wife choose which one she thinks passes the QA. Color for color and for the yeah, and for the finish. Okay, how are we doing? Let's zoom out. So when I chase my project over the table, it doesn't leave the camera. Okay. I think it's kind of okay now. But we need to burnish these edges. Obviously, that requires toconol. And I'll make 2 and leave the rest of the blanks when the orders come in, you know? Not the blanks, but you know, you can call them blanks or not, whatever. And I made this from slightly thinner leather than what I usually use, but I think that's okay for this particular keychain. Should not be a problem. Okay. Okay, this looks good. By the way, I am streaming on both Twitch and YouTube, but I don't know how many people actually come from YouTube. I don't think my YouTube following is that big to really do live streaming. But content, like, it's kind of good when you have a audience on like a video audience, not live audience, and then you do video live streams for them. Not necessarily great for this kind of like always live kind of experiences. I do have a new setup where my monitor is way up above the table and my neck hurts. Like, I got used to being like a slouchy person, but now you first of all you see my receding hairline. Second of all, like, when I raise my head to look at you all, my neck hurts. Which is probably a good thing for me to keep my posture up, but, you know. It's funny. I might need to adjust my setup right here. Okay. Okay. I think we have the finish. We have the edges. We need 2 rings. And we'll need 2 of these snaps. Not snap. Swivel hooks. They're called swivel hooks. And these are kind of like on the better side of the cheap Amazon version. You know, like, these are not like super expensive, but they are good enough quality. So I bought quite a bunch of them, but not like not a shit ton. Not a shit ton. I don't know why it's hanging here. Okay. So let's switch over to the press. I now have a press, right? Nope, this press. And we'll make the 2 things. Yeah. So this is a different project. Come on. What's up with that? What's up with that camera? Okay. It died. Camera setup. Maybe that's why, Coco, you couldn't see my face for a bit. Huh. Okay. Okay. I think we are doing all right. So, first step is putting the ring. And then this thing over here. I don't know how much you can see, but trust me, there was a press right there. Like, this thing is the press. Oh yeah, something is up with the camera. Can you see it? No, no, looks like it works. Okay. And so this is the first snap. Right? And now, remember how I said I'm not doing the whole second hole right here, right? That's because I want to, after I assemble it, I want to grab my hole puncher. Well, switch it to the smaller hole, right? Like that. And I want to punch the hole now. Well, maybe I meant to use the smallest one. Yep. Just like that. And this way I avoid the shift and I don't need to be as precise. So you can grab this here. And these snaps are a little bigger than what I need to, so hopefully this press will solve that problem for me. Right, usually if your stem or whatever it's called, the leg of the snap is too big, it can shift around on you, right? So hopefully with the press it doesn't. So, and I fucked up. Who can tell me how I fucked up in here? Who can tell me? Who can tell me? What's wrong with this? If you are a very curious person, you should be able to tell me. If you pay attention in the stream, what's wrong with this? Anyone? Any ideas how I effed up? No? Well, I forgot to put in the swivel hook. Okay. Hopefully the next one, oops, sorry, this table. The next one will go well. So, let's repeat the exercise. First, second, now we put in the thing. I'm glad I'm making two. And actually I have a drill to undo the one, but it's always not fun to do. And again, let's pull. Okay, so hopefully this one came out well. Where are we? There we go. By the way, now you can see a little more pink in this color, right? Oh, come on. Focus, focus. No? Focus. Yeah, that's what it says to me. My camera is telling me no focus. Okay, so this is the product. And this one is effed up. So the question is, what should I do with it? I have a feeling that drilling this out is too much. It's too much. So this one goes to trash. I need to develop that muscle of like, okay, it didn't work. It means you need to cut the losses. You know what I mean? Okie dokie. We made the project as we wanted to. The customer will be happy. So this project is done. Done, done, done. Obviously, I am not happy that I fucked up, but you know, it's fine. Everything is fine. So, what's next? First, these are the two snaps, two keychains. This one definitely doesn't look pink or magenta, right? This one is much more magenta. By the way, the camera just lies, folks. Don't ignore it. Ignore it. Yeah. This one is definitely magenta. Amount of time I spent making these two does not justify the price, but I'm happy the person ordered it, so hopefully they will be happy about it. Oh yeah. I also am making few projects with a fancy leather, so I thought I'd make a couple business cards today, or at least start a couple business cards with this new fancy leather. So let's do that. Yeah, these are the two leathers I'm gonna use today. And what? And I'm gonna use the press again to cut out. Luckily, I found one of those templates that I use for the wallets. Actually, is the right size for the card. So let's set it up real quick. Punch. And I want to make a couple. Right, so. Good. One. put them right there so you can all see it. What is that going on? Okay. Something is up with my connectivity, so maybe you cannot hear me that well, but I apologize for that. So this is one. And now I'll make another one of these. I was already making some of these pieces with this leather. I feel a little bit stupid using the press for this because it's only rectangles that I'm making. But I'm also using that as an excuse to use my press. Nothing wrong with that. Oops. Okay, and it is done. I also have some cool leather, like in this gold leather. I don't know if you can see that, and some of this silver as well. This will probably go in some kind of pockets. You see, it's still untouched piece. Let's see. Something military, I don't know. Let's see. It's fine. So, coming back. Let's put this stuff away real quick. And back at my heated desk. There we go. How are we doing today? Looks like my bitrate is... Why is it telling me the bitrate is not great even though it's like 2.5 megabit? I have no idea. What about the chat? How's my chat doing? Chat is still here. Okay. Hopefully you all are not experiencing problems. So please come back. Okie doke. Yeah, so the idea is that we will be making my favorite business cards. So this will be 2 more cards. In my collection. I think I'm gonna do the drops, you know, I'm gonna do drops of the cards. I'll make a batch and then I'll drop them on the floor in my store. Do you all like that kind of batch style stuff, or do you buy the batch stuff? Kind of building up to get momentum and stuff like that. I am very new to this. So let's shift my display to making cards. There we go. We are making cards now. Yeah, I don't know what's up with me. Some anxiety is attacking me. But if you're here, that's all that matters. If you enjoy the leatherworking process, I am fine to go through a little bit of anxiety for you. I'll sit a little quiet, if that's even possible on this stream. Maybe not. Maybe I cannot sit quietly, but I'll do a little bit of meditation. Hopefully my music is still enjoyable, even though it's like the same stuff for 5 years, so time to shift that. By the way, maybe we configure my stream to use my new game that I made. Maybe that's what we will do as well. If you all are interested, I did make a tic-tac-toe game for streamers specifically, or for streams rather. So if you all want to play tic-tac-toe, please say so, and we can play some tic-tac-toe. It is called asymmetric gaming, meaning that we might play slightly differently. However, you don't have to, right? Okay, 2 pieces, 2 more. Again, this is a heavy printed leather, you know, so it's not a veg tan, or maybe it is, no, it is chrome tan actually. But it's heavy printed, so it has a little bit of body to it as a result. Basically not as soft as some others, but it has a very thick layer on top, giving it this specific style. So, okay. Let's start with our first card. Just like that. So not too much glue. Game with Peaches. Welcome, Game with Peaches. Sorry, did I miss your post from before? Hopefully not. Are you a leather worker too? By any chance? Because there was a leather worker here on Twitch whose name was Call Me Peaches. But I'm not sure if it's you or not. Many people change their nicknames and stuff like that. Nothing wrong with that. So, sorry if I'm confusing you with somebody else. Because we had Coco Karina come from who I didn't see in a few years, at least. I would not be surprised if the next person to show up is another leather worker who I started with as well, who taught me a few tricks too. But if you like it, you don't have to be a leather worker yourself. You can just say hi and be part of this community without being leather worker, but just enjoying what I do. Right now I'm making this weird digital product that is new stuff, not your traditional wallet, but a new type of digital accessory for everyone who has digital presence, which means everyone. We all have digital presence in one form or another. Well, most of us, I would say. Okay, so next step is to put away the glue and the brush. Grab the little tool and reinforce these edges, because this is where I will stitch. it's kind of useful to have that edge on it. And ideally on both sides to make it symmetrical. Come on, where is the edge? Is it this far? Maybe. Okay, that's one. And this is the other. And if I distress a little bit of this coating, it's fine, because I think it's like, that's the whole point of this leather, right? Like this cool looking steampunk style leather. Still. First, let's go with the corners. Hey, can I see the holes? Yes, I can see the holes. That's good. Yeah, okay, cool. Now I need to be close to the edge, so I got to get the stitch that flies all over the place, right? Something is up with that mallet. Why is it? Is it shrinking or something? Like, why did this get loose like that? I don't know. I don't know. My hole. There is my hole. Yeah, this leather where it's almost impossible to see the patterns and stuff is a little challenging that way. I'm rewatching the show called Altered Carbon. I don't know if you all seen that, but It's a very futuristic and yet very hits close to heart to a degree. I mean, it has particular stories, so it's not like not just philosophical, you know. But it does hit close to heart. Okay, here I already made the holes. Okay, cool. So one card punched. Did I make the holes here? Sheesh. Yeah, I think I did, right? Did I? Maybe not. Yeah, I didn't. And yeah, this leather, it's a little easier to see the hole that is already punched. Come on, where is my edge? Not good. This is better. Okay. Yeah, one scene in that show is, and I'm still talking about the carbon, altered carbon. Yeah, I don't think I'll reveal too much by saying that there is kind of people moving from body to body is like normal thing. normalized by society, through so-called carbon stacks or something of that sort. And having your own body is kind of, I don't know, overrated. Kind of, you live beyond the body you're in and stuff like that. For better or for worse, right? Like, because that creates colossal societal disparity between rich and poor, which is kind of one big part of the plot. But also, you know, there are obviously some religious implications and all of that for people who are religious. Anyhow, there is this episode where there is this celebrating Day of the Dead holiday. I believe. And the family comes together. That's how I understood it. Was it Day of the Dead? I think it was Day of the Dead, yeah. Because people still die in there for various reasons. And this lady police officer brings in, redirects or repopulates a body of some thug that she arrested with a grandma's spirit, and brings the grandma to home gathering with little kids and everything. It's kind of very interesting, I should say. Obviously, it was fun to do for actors, right? Because that's kind of like they can play whoever. There were a couple other situations where with such a contrast, but it's kind of unusual, I should say. Okay, let's switch over to this camera, and I am thinking of getting myself like a phone camera to sit somewhere in here to watch the stitching on the side, but for now we'll have to go without it. Okay. You know what? I will put on my magnifying glasses because it's almost impossible to see in this leather. You know what? Maybe I should put some kind of cover onto these glasses. You know, some kind of face over here or something like that. So when I put them on, you kind of see a different view of me. Maybe a hat, you know? What do you all think? You know what? Let me grab my finger protectors. Okay, maybe I shouldn't tighten up so much. You know what? It's pretty hot. The seat is pretty hot, so I'll take off my jacket. Show you my pretty cool t-shirt from 1000. I don't know if you're familiar with 1000, but he's a artist, a YouTuber artist. He made quite a few t-shirts. I think he has a t-shirt subscription business. Oh, come on. Join me for some stitching stream. By the way, the word this show used for the bodies was sleeves. They were wearing a sleeve. Very interesting. And there were birth sleeves, meaning the bodies you were born with. And then there were upgrades and that kind of, all of that kind of stuff. One final stretch on this card along this side. Come on. Tired. Okay, and I think we're done, right? Let's see. Yeah. So let's do a couple back stitches. This will be complete. Well, we don't need to take it off yet because we have the other card to stitch. So let's burn it first. I feel I need to move this a little to the left. Like that. I don't know why, but feels like the right thing to do. Okay, this is a little too much thread to keep, to throw away, so we'll try to go a little easy on the thread. There it is. So double is the length, double, and we'll do almost double. For safety. Oh shit. Did it just drop the needle? No, it's right there. Nice. By the way, folks, if you haven't seen it, but Chantal, previously known as Pixie's Creations, is back on Twitch under the name April Moon. With all of her previous brands revolving around April. Both her modeling and her tattooing, not tattooing, but tattooing work, which unfortunately she paused for a bit. But basically both of those were April, and now she's under the name April Moon, M-O-0-N. April M-O-0-N. So what's up with this sound? Am I going through weather now? I think I'm good. So I was able to catch her on her first stream back today. That was awesome. She was doing great, started new, and she is the, by the way, let me shout out. Can I do shout out here? Interesting. Let's see if this multi-stream will do. Slash shout out April MO0N. April Moon. Did that do the thing on Twitch chat? Let's see. It did something, so let me shout out. Shout out April. Oh. There we go. Yeah, this multi-stream thing doesn't do Twitch commands, unfortunately. But hopefully you can still enjoy it. Anyhow, like, I might need to have both chats now for fun, just because it's fun, you know, or 3 chats or whatever. Okay. Anyhow, if you want to check her out, April Moon on Twitch, go do that. She does the wood burning. Got a new wood burner she was trying out today, so it was great seeing her back. Oh, and I know why I need it closer to the left, because you know how people have different eyes to be their primary eye? Most people have the right eye to be their primary eye. And I don't know if it's related to being right-handed or not, because I am right-handed. But I have a left eye to be my primary eye. Which is why, for example, if you hold the rifle, you want to hold it where your primary eye is, to that shoulder, right? So when you aim, your primary eye stays with the direction and you close the other eye. So you don't need to do this, right? Like, you can just aim. And I don't know if it was shown pretty well, but so my eye is the left eye. So for me to see both sides well, I need this to be kind of oriented towards my left eye. So the right eye obviously helps, but effectively I don't need to shift back and forth as much as a result. Hello, Ralph. Hello. How are you doing? For some reason, this color is just killing me. I cannot see most of the names, so sorry if I'm squinting to see your name. How are you? What's up with that? Okay, that's very interesting. Where is my thread? What happened here? I have no idea. How did they manage to put this thread on this side? Anyone knows? Sometimes I do that. I've been okay. You know, had some vacation last week, like for the Turkey Day here in the United States. But then work came back and kind of ate the whole week of vacation, which kind of reinforces my thinking that maybe I'm not doing the right work, but I'm not sure. I'll keep talking to my manager about it. Let's put it this way. But I'm looking forward to a couple more weeks at the end of December. And can't wait for these 3 weeks to be over. But then there is a whole year ahead of us, right? Or rather, first 3 months are completely holidayless. And I'm thinking maybe I should fix that. So now I'm doing some of these business cards with this fun leather. Like that. That looks like that. Sorry you cannot see this piece, but it looks pretty cool too. Hip replaced. Ooh, yeah, that takes a while to recover, so take it easy. I don't know how about here, but I think my mom had it like couple months, no, more than that, of physical therapy and stuff like that. Maybe it's better in here, but yeah, looking for like yeah, look forward to getting less bored, right? Like with not being able to walk and all. But hips are that kind of hard. Did it help with the core issue? Can you still walk fine and all of that? Hopefully that, like, I know those surgeries are pretty good, ratings wise and all that. Like, they succeed well. Hopefully that's happening for you as well. Three months and fully healed in 9. Oh, relieve the pain. Nice, nice. That's usually what it's just unbearable. Yeah. So take it easy, you know, do all the physical therapy, and you will be like in a good shape afterwards. Was your problem stopping you from doing work, or you just saying that you can come back to work with after you recover? Disability from a motorbike accident, I see. Part-time to work, okay. Yeah, make sure you can do it because it's a tough one, especially if it's about getting your disability benefits as well, all of that. But yeah, I wish disability paid anything remotely close to what you can live on, but we have a friend who has some of those troubles. Okay, where are we? What are we doing here? Is that the wrong hole? Okay. Yeah, motorbicycles have those kind of implications. Sometimes those are not easy, to say the least. I mean, my job, day job, does not require any physical activity other than sitting in a chair and staring at the screens all the time, which some people have problems with. Like I have a friend who can only walk, he cannot sit for prolonged periods of times because of some spinal problems. But mostly it's the opposite. I need exercise. You cannot return to old professions, so I need to retain in a new field. I see. Forklift and industrial mechanic. Okay, I see. Interesting. Is that like because of the accident? That's sorry to hear that. Unless you didn't like it, which is another part to it. Or is it just because it's time to not work in such a hard field? I can imagine it's like not easy job physically. Technology has advanced. Oh, I see. Yeah. I can imagine a lot of skills are probably transferable, right? Everything is computerized, even the gas tracks. Yeah, I can imagine. So there is a lot of like computerized equipment that you can just swap out, right? Because it's not that easy to just work on. And I can imagine that means that companies kinda charge premium for the equipment and all of that kind of stuff, and people go to only authorized dealerships and stuff like that, which I don't know that space, but I can imagine that's what causes the concern. Well, in my case, everything is computerized because I do computers. That being said, some of the work I do, I'm not enjoying. I just am not curious about some parts of my job. And I think I got spoiled over the years where if I'm not curious, I do not enjoy it. Or maybe it's because I moved to the JavaScript front-end world and the way people work in those spaces are different. Sorry if that doesn't make any sense to you, but you know, it's a problem. It's my current work problem. I can imagine in 10 years AI will be so embedded into workflow that if you didn't catch that wave, you can be out as well, similarly to what you're talking about. A lot of integrated components, but you need a laptop to diagnose as well. It's just the maintenance. Yeah, exactly. I mean, not necessarily bad, right? Because those components might be more efficient or cheaper or stuff like that. Although I think the game they played with us of like, oh, not enough chips, it means there will be high demand on cars, or low supply, high demand on cars, let's double the prices. Well, now we have the chips. Why the fuck the price? Why the fuck the prices are so high, right? This is kind of capitalistic bullshit game I don't like. I don't know if it affected your industry as well, but this is like not fun. So what are you thinking in terms of next field where you will go? Doing part-time work is a good time to go and get retrained, actually. Same, more expensive, basically. Same shit, more expensive because computers are included, right? If it has computer inside, must be smart, or whatever the term they use in each field. Like smart TVs, smartphones, all of that. Third, in automotive parts area, working a counter at AutoZone. Okay, I know a friend, of a family friend who basically started selling transmissions, for example, like for the industry, kind of for like truck mechanics, and so not necessarily AutoZone kind of consumer side, but for buses and stuff like that. So if you know some of that, you can get some, you can use your experience in working on the machines to help you and your understanding of the industry a little bit, without necessarily going into individual like details. Oh my god, this chat is completely impossible to read the names in. Prosaic, Wimmer, blah blah blah. Oh, okay. You're trying to sell me something. Okay, that is automated ban. Oh, interesting. I cannot ban here, can I? Okay, let's do that. Bam. That was quick. Bam, bam. Okay. Sorry, folks, trying to figure out how to ban people on Twitch. And I don't mean Ralph, you. I mean that person, computer bot that came over. Exactly. Until then, I'll stick with leather. There we go. There we go. Might be a good time to kind of do this stuff. You know, like craft stuff. You can also go work for Tenzi store, you know? Use your craft skills acquired through hard crafting. Okay, looks like we are done with this too. Let's switch over. Remove the fire eyes. Go here. Equipping the eye vision equipment. As I was saying earlier, I'm watching the Altered Carbon, and they keep replacing different bodies. Speaking of your hip replacements, right? They keep replacing bodies, and depending on how much you pay, you get a better one or not. They call them sleeves. So here I need one with the eyes working better. Which they do have, like because there's a lot of action in there, like fighting action. They have the they have like X-ray vision or things like that. Being dealer for about 5 years, Tenzi. I wish the closest one to me is near you. Okay, yeah, I mean, near is relative, but yeah, you were saying there is one nearby. I just don't remember how close it is to you. Obviously having a very long commute, but it, you know, like with any store, like no matter what you work for, who you work for, there's probably one that is far from you, right? Like my son is trying to get into Starbucks right now, but he's post-college, right out of college kind of job, and he's kind of circling around the house, but you know, going farther and farther away from home. You know, one would think that jobs should be available evenly, but no. Yeah, 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours is way too much. Yeah, that's too far. I wouldn't advise that. I mean, my office, if I go into the office, is 1.5 hours away, commute-wise. Right, so I don't go as much. I did back in the day, but now it's a little too much. It's still worth it if, you know, if they enforce it. I will probably start going, but considering that my job is completely remote, I don't understand why they should insist, but they might. Okay, let me use the 1 kilo weight that I'm using as a tool to not shift this. Yeah. the fact that they need to hold the thing and use the weight at the same time is kind of problematic. Yeah, and my colleague, or former colleague rather, lives in no, not Union, Newton, or in that area basically, in New Jersey, and that's way too far. But he sometimes goes into the office in the New York City. Again, similarly to me, he's like, I will only come when it's completely necessary. Both of us together organize a meetup actually in the city, so we do come out from time to time, but not as often as sometimes. No, Union. I worked in Union at Bed Bath and Beyond. That's much closer. He's basically almost in Pennsylvania. Okay, we trimmed the things. And I got myself this corner knives, by the way. The origin from Hillside. Sounds familiar. Okay, I did not trim it completely. Yeah, I felt they didn't go in perfectly. So let's do a tiny bit more trimming on this guy. Okay, does this come in now? There we go. Now it fits perfectly into my jig. I did get these corner knives. I don't know if you saw that. Like that. Yeah, exactly. And it's useful because this is where the positioning of the center stamp is done, right? To center it, I need a pretty good fit. Otherwise, it wobbles and goes unevenly. So these knives, they're kind of round. I don't know if you've seen these before. Come on. There we go. And you just position them. Press down, and you got yourself a cut. Except I keep kind of nicking it a little every time. I don't know what's up with that. You know what? I think it's time to heat up the heat press for the foiling. Turn on the lights there, and we will go to it once I'm done with the corners. I think it heats up pretty quickly. Yeah, I forgot if I got them at Weaver or at Rocky Mountain. I think or at what's his name, SLC. Springfield leather. I think it's the same brand for all of them. I mean, maybe Weaver has their own, actually. I'm not sure. I mean, the fresh ones are pretty sharp, so I don't know if it's easy to sharpen them. It shouldn't be too hard, you know. But the ones that you get out of the box are already pretty sharp. And this is actually the biggest diameter, but I have a couple smaller ones as well. There we go. And it is this quick. So that's why I got them, right? Like, because it's very quick to use and pretty useful as a result. If you do wallets, for example, that you want consistent round corners in an easy one-hand motion, that's a good one. Okay, so let's do the edges first, and then we'll go, edging on them. I don't know if I showed off my... Oh, too zoomed. Right. If I showed off my Weaver's edger, but I keep liking it quite a bit. Maybe because it's still sharp. Maybe that's why. But it's just a tool that is more ergonomic than the rest of the edgers that require weird hand gesture, kind of like this one seems to be doing the right thing to your hand and to the tool orientation as you use it. You know what I mean? I was very positively surprised by it. So if you're ever in a market to try out edgers, I highly recommend trying this Weaver's. This one is 0 size, but I think they have a different... Well, this might be actually the thinnest one. They probably have bigger ones for like sheaths and stuff like that, but this is a little too big for my work. Or I have 0 and 00 from Barry King, right? Like these two guys. But I mean, by the way, the 0 number doesn't mean shit. It depends on the vendor, right? Like, I don't know if these actually create. Maybe both of these create the same. These zeros are probably the same, but the ergonomics of using it is different. So like that's why I'm kind of liking these. And they're not expensive, relatively speaking. I think I bought this one for $60, maybe 70. Comparing to 100 plus for Barry Kings, you know. Again, maybe long term they're different, but I think I saved already a lot of time by using them. And maybe it's almost time to sharpen them for the first time, but maybe that's where I will have troubles, but who knows? Who knows? Did I do both sides of it? Yes, I did. Yeah, I understand. But good tool is a good tool, you know? It's kind of a question of, you know... Effectively, for professionals, it's a question of time you save, right? Like, that's why they're expensive. Yeah, unfortunately, problem with this leather is that because it's a print, the edges are not as smooth, unfortunately. But I'm not painting them anyway. I'm gonna be burnishing it. And this chrome burnishes okay, so this is good news. Okay, let me. Well, I think I actually need some foil as well. Right? Um, do I have my foil here? No. Foil. It's foil. Let me go grab foil real quick. I should probably mount some kind of stick on this wall by this workbench and just mount all of these rolls on it. That might be a good project just to put it right there. I know you probably cannot see it, but because getting this foil every time is pain in the ass. Technically, I could have done it like right here, maybe have some kind of mount like this with multiple rolls sticking to the side, and you just pick the one you like. Maybe that's a better approach. We'll see. I don't use a lot of different foil, a lot. It's mostly a few most common ones. Which side? This side, okay. It's speaking to me. Yep. One, two. Nice. Bit of Chorny. And I think for this one I will actually use gold. Because this one is a little, if you compare these are like brass and what's the other one? Bronze and brass, basically, right? So this one is darker, and I think gold will go well on this card. At least we will try that. Let's do that. So which side? Okay, this side again. One, two, done. Nice, nice. It's not the exact match, but I think it works well. I think it works. Okay, we can turn this off. Throw away the foil. So here are the two cards, almost done. In mechanic, you make things work. Okay, I mean, sure. Technically, all these tools are makeable, if you know what I mean. If you have enough metal machines, which I can imagine. Foil machine, a hot press. Yes, so basically the foil machine, sorry, one sec. The foil machine is a press with a heat plate on the bottom. And in this case it's a cheap one, so you have to screw in whatever you are heating, right? But and I have brass stamps, and then you just press it down, so there is a little bit of pressure, heat, and for the foil it also heats the foil base, right? Foil whatever it's called. Oh god, what is it called? Foil substrate, whatever the glue on the foil, basically. You know, and that does the trick. You can also do just heat pressing with it without foil, kind of making debossing without foil. You could do that here with this machine as well. You obviously need longer pressure and more pressure, but it depends on the leather. Depends on the leather. And your leather needs to be the appropriate leather, right? Like it will not do a lot of impression on the sheesh. On the chrome tan, right? But yeah. Okay, so now the edges, and we'll be done for today. I think it's like already time to wrap up, but we'll do some edge. Well, before we do the paint, toconol, we'll do some painting of the edge because this doesn't look right. So this one will be brown. Because this one is a more brown toned, and the other one has black leather underneath, so under the print. So we'll use black on those edges. The thing with a cheap machine, unfortunately, is that you don't have enough accessories to hold stuff, right? So I wish I was a mechanic, you know, who knew how to, or who had some machines to machine myself holders and stuff like that, but unfortunately I'm not. And I don't know if I have enough free will in my left in my wife for metal equipment as well. But I cut a little bit of cardboard holders to align things and stuff. If I had a laser, I could have done a little better job at that, but you know, maybe I'll have a laser one day, but not in here, I think. Okie doke. Coloring is done. Let's do the burnishing. By the way, that heat foiler was the first machine I bought. Only after that I kind of got myself the press, got myself the rivet press. You don't have that much in machinery? Yeah, I understand. I wish more like sharing spaces existed. We do have a maker space in the area, but it is mostly for kind of it's in college, so it's mostly to organize things. They do have some printers, so you can do some printing and laser cutting. But I think it would be great if people could just come over and use the machines reasonably after training or whatever. But right, why do we need a job somewhere to be able to use those machines? Why do we need to build our own equipment place? I think some libraries have equipment sharing, right, that teach you how to use them and stuff like that, but that's obviously doesn't work for metal shop, for real full-on metal shop, you know. I know some colleges have maker spaces and stuff, but I don't know how much they're available to community and stuff. Maybe I should talk to a local college and show them, exchange leatherwork for machine time, you know? My youngest went to TCNJ, which is a little too far for me, like hour and a half, hour 40-minute drive, right? That's a little too far. But my oldest went to William Patterson, which is 30 minutes drive at most. By the way, it doesn't matter if you go local or highway, because like one is not particularly better than the other. So he always went local. But maybe they have something. Maybe I should ask his teachers about arts kind of stuff and show them how leather tooling works, because I think students would appreciate that. That might be a good idea. He's actually there right now. He's the digital artist, so he actually does, what do you call it? Animation, and he's at the animation club today. They have like a final show or something. He graduated already, but he still hangs out with his friends and teachers and future students. So he's there right now. But it might be a good idea to ask. Be an invited professor. Maybe get myself a retirement opportunity when I retire that I will teach there or something. I don't know. Okay. I mean, this leather obviously doesn't hold the edge as well, like, so it's not very flat. But I don't think most of the rippleness is from the leather print, right? And I don't think it's worth trying to make it very flat and everything. I think it only gives it a little bit of the charm here. And I already burnished it way too much anyway. So let's do the final step, which is encoding the actual instructions URL onto the card. So NFC tags, this is my son's card. More options, where's my load? Leather card instructions, and now we can say write. Boop. Write. Boop. And now, if we read it, come on. It comes up, you open it up, it gives you instructions on how to encode your own digital card. Basically what I just did. Instructions on what I just did. So let's test the other one. Okay. Both done. Nice. Okay, cool. The only thing I didn't do is I didn't make the card holders, but I might have a card holder already. Let's see. Yeah, I actually have a couple. I pre-printed them. And I think this sparkly box can be a good fit for these cards. And it already has the instructions card, which, by the way, where the hell are my instructions cards? I don't know. But I think this will be the best way to put them in. Like that. Right? This is the other one. Maybe I should sit down. There's no point in standing here. And I use my Cricut machine to make this packaging. If you haven't seen me do that, I do that from time to time on the stream, so you can all join and check it out. But yeah, I already created the program for this specific device, which is basically file. Like, I used online tool, by the way. There's nothing special about it. Let me go check where my cards are. Did I put them here? Here? Oh yes, there they are. Oh yeah, I printed a bunch of these cards. Also have a printer. Over the years, I invested into various tools, including the printer, which I bought with sole purpose of making pins, which we ran out of, by the way. Maybe I should remind my son that he can make some money making those pins. Okay, so here are the two cards. Here are the instructions. Folks, if you want to check out the instructions, and I think there is a link to the actual cards. You see I have a short URL shortener, my own URL shortener, ChernyGoodsCo, as well. So all of that is figured out. So let's do some rating. Thank you all for joining. Thank you, Ralph, for hanging out and keeping me company at the end. We did have a few folks join earlier as well. Shout out to Costume Karina, who joined us earlier. I know she does not. What is it? 2 underscores? Okay, maybe not. Maybe she doesn't do streaming. Maybe she just joins. She just watches the streams. That's fine. But let's go raid. And for you, all of you YouTube folks, raiding means something special on Twitch, which is where we send the audience to a different stream. So if you are on YouTube, unfortunately, you cannot join directly, but I will hopefully ask you to join. Hello. Alex is back. I was just chatting about you, by the way. Okay. Momo is back. Moon's Dolls is here doing art. A lot of people are on tonight. So, who is it gonna be? I think. Let's see if she's still going. Yes, she's still going. We are raiding Moon's Dolls. She does amazing art with doll art, basically. Like very artistic, very crafty, very how to say it, very creative, and a lot of fun all the time. Right now it looks like it's some kind of frog or something. She's making a frog or something, but it's always fun. So let's go raid her, say hi, and I hope to see you more between now and New Year. So again, take care. Thank you, everyone.